Hello and welcome to Mind Matters Expert, your go-to channel for unlocking the power of your mind, building emotional clarity and creating healthier relationships through awareness and self-respect. Let me ask you something as we begin. Have you ever looked back at a past relationship and thought, if only I had slowed down a little at the start? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. And that's exactly what today's conversation is about. So let's talk honestly and calmly about a dating guideline that can save a lot of confusion and heartbreak if you understand it early. The 3-month rule in dating. Why it matters. In the early stages of dating, everything can feel exciting, intense, and, well, a little confusing. Texts come faster. Conversations feel deeper. Emotions seem to grow almost overnight. And at some point, most people ask the same question. Is this actually real? Or is this just the honeymoon phase? That's where the 3-month rule in dating comes in. It's not a strict rule, and it's definitely not a guarantee. But it is a powerful guideline. One that explains why the first 3 months of dating matter so much, and why slowing down during this time can protect your emotions, your boundaries, and your long-term happiness. What is the 3-month rule? The 3-month rule suggests taking around 3 months before making major emotional commitments or big relationship decisions. That includes things like defining the relationship very seriously, becoming emotionally dependent too quickly, ignoring red flags because everything feels amazing, and making long-term promises too soon. It's not about being distant, and it's not about holding back on purpose. It's about observing, understanding, and assessing before fully investing. Why 3 months matters psychologically. The first few weeks of dating are heavily influenced by brain chemistry. When you meet someone new, your brain releases chemicals like dopamine, which creates excitement, oxytocin, which builds attachment, and adrenaline, which adds intensity. These chemicals can make someone seem more perfect than they actually are. This phase is often called the honeymoon stage. But around the 2 to 3 month mark, those chemicals start to settle. And that's when reality shows up. You begin to notice how they handle stress, how they communicate during disagreements, whether their actions match their words, and how consistent they really are. That's why 3 months is often a turning point. Most people, can show their best version for a short period of time. They're more attentive, more agreeable, and, well, more careful. But keeping that version going takes energy. By the 3-month mark, habits start to show, values become clearer, effort levels even out, and patterns begin to form. This doesn't mean people are lying. It just means the real person always shows up eventually. The 3-month rule gives you time to see that person clearly. When emotions move fast, red flags are honestly easy to miss or explain away. You might catch yourself thinking they're just busy, or they didn't mean it like that, or even it'll get better with time. Slowing down gives you space to actually notice inconsistent communication, disrespect for boundaries, emotional manipulation, lack of accountability, and pressure to move faster than you're comfortable with. Red flags usually appear early. We just don't always give ourselves enough time to see them. Strong emotional bonds can form very quickly, especially if you're open, caring, or value connection deeply. Attachment itself isn't the problem. The problem is attaching before trust is earned. The 3-month rule helps you build trust gradually. Match emotions with consistent behavior and avoid becoming emotionally dependent too soon. Healthy relationships grow through consistency, not just intensity. It encourages clearer communication. As time passes, real conversations naturally begin. You start talking about expectations, boundaries, values, communication styles, and, well, what you both want moving forward. By 3 months, you're in a much better place to ask, what are we? And where do you see this going? And you know, the answers you get are more likely to be thoughtful and honest, not just driven by excitement. Not a rule to rush or delay on purpose. This part is important. The 3-month rule is not about playing games, withholding emotions, testing someone, or avoiding commitment out of fear. It's about letting things unfold naturally without forcing outcomes. Some connections grow stronger after 3 months. Others, well, reveal incompatibilities. Both outcomes are valuable. What if things feel great before 3 months? Well, that's completely normal. Feeling excited early on doesn't mean anything is wrong, not at all. The rule is simply a reminder to stay grounded, keep your life balanced, maintain friendships, hobbies and routines, and let actions prove consistency over time. Strong relationships don't suffer from moving slowly. In fact, they grow stronger. Why the 3-month rule really matters is, at its core, about self-respect and emotional safety. It helps you choose partners more intentionally, avoid unnecessary heartbreak, build healthier, more stable connections, and trust patterns over promises. Love doesn't need to be rushed to be real. Sometimes, honestly, the smartest thing you can do in dating is give yourself time. Time to observe, time to reflect, and time to choose wisely. The right person won't pressure you to rush. They'll respect your pace, your boundaries, and your need to truly understand them, because real connection isn't proven in weeks. It's proven through consistency, over time. And now I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever noticed how relationships change after the first few months? What did you learn from that experience? Thank you so much for watching today's video on Mind Matters Expert. If you enjoyed this content and found it useful, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to the channel for more videos on personal growth, mindset mastery, and practical tips for a better life. If you have any questions or want to share your experiences, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear how you're applying these tools in your life. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay empowered.